Hey, and welcome to another What's for Dinner video. Sorry I haven't been uploading, I just really haven't been feeling that well, and I really didn't know what to upload. I didn't know what I was going to do with the channel, but anyways, I don't want to ramble on, so I'm just going to go on. So this night we had chicken with this pasta salad that I found at the store, this Betty Crocker, and I'm just showing you everything that I'm going to be adding into the pasta. It doesn't come with it. So basically, I am just going to be chopping up my broccoli, which I had this left over, so I was just like, that's perfect, I'll add that in. And yeah, so I'm not going to bore you with the chopping, so let's just enjoy some music while I chop up the broccoli. So right here I'm just making the sauce that it comes with. It just comes with this little packet of sauce, and all you do is add water and a little bit of olive oil. And then right here I'm just taking my ham and I'm going to be just dicing that really fine and just putting that into the pasta. Once I was done cooking the pasta, just to the instructions on the back, I just added everything in, and I also had these shredded carrots left over, so I went ahead and added those too. Then I'm just going to be taking my boneless, skinless chicken breast tenders, and I got these at Aldi. It's like about 7 something. I can't really read the price, but it was like around almost $8 for this whole pack, and there's plenty in here. I think there's like 20. There's a lot in here, so you get a pretty good amount for your money. So I'm just taking off the little bit of fat part that's on there, and I'm just taking that off. Then I'm going to be seasoning them, and I'm just seasoning them with this seasoning that I have that I really don't know what it is because I got it from a family member, but basically it has like parsley, garlic salt, garlic powder. It has a lot of different stuff in it, so I really don't know what it would be, but maybe if you have some chicken seasoning or anything like that, you can season it with whatever you guys usually season your chicken with. So I just washed my hands before I did the seasoning because obviously you don't want to be spreading salmonella everywhere. And now I'm just going to be adding those to my hot pan with a little bit of olive oil, and you just cook these for a couple minutes on each side or until you feel they're done. But once I think they're done, I think I do 6 minutes on each side, 5 minutes. I really don't remember, but I'm really like paranoid about mine, so I usually flip them 3 times. I flip them once, I put them down, and then I flip them once, and then I let them cook for a good while, and then I flip them once more, and I also like them crispy, so I do mine for a pretty good amount of time. So now that everything is done, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys our plates. So I just served it with some carrots, and I had some sourdough that was going bad, so I just served it with that. And then I wanted to show you guys my daughter's plates because I know people usually have picky kids, so she'll usually eat what we eat but not the way we eat it. So like, she didn't have the pasta together, she had the broccoli and the carrots on the side, and then the ham with the chicken, and I gave her some olives with it. So this night we had spaghetti, and I always add onion when I'm cooking my ground beef. You don't really taste the onion, and I feel like it just gives it some flavor. So here I'm just dicing up half of my onion to throw in with the meat, and I'll go ahead and saute that first with some garlic. So I'm just putting some olive oil, and then I'm going to be sauteing the garlic and so then I just have this boiling pot of water that I just salted it for the noodles, and I'm going to be adding those once it starts boiling. Then I'm just going to throw my beef in once my onions are translucent, and I'm only going to be adding half of this amount of beef because the rest was going to be way too much. I only added half, and we ended up with leftovers for days. So I'm just seasoning my meat, and I added a tiny bit of garlic salt. Usually I use the other seasoning you guys saw on the chicken, but I ran out, and so I'm just going to be adding some of this the Betty Crocker. I think it's CZQ's meat seasoning. So I'm adding the noodles, and I always add a little bit of olive oil just so they don't stick. Then I'm just going to be having a salad on the side, which I really love to always do this. I get one spring mix, so like arugula, baby spinach, and greens, like dark greens that are really good for you. And then I like to add some some iceberg or some romaine. So I got the butter lettuce and the spring mix, and it was really good. I ended up adding some more of those carrots that I used in the pasta because I wanted to use those up. You're gonna see me adding a bunch more stuff, but I'll be showing everything that I usually add to my salads, and it comes out really good this way, especially with the cranberries and the cashews. I know it looks kind of weird, but it tastes really delicious. Once the meat was done cooking, I went ahead and added my sauce, and I got this sauce from Aldi, and I really recommend it. It's super delicious, and it has a lot of flavor, you guys, for a tomato sauce. So I usually serve garlic bread with my spaghetti, but they didn't have any at Aldi, so I went ahead and grabbed these dinner rolls, and these are just brown and served, so I'm just putting them on the sheet, whatever it's called, I can't think of it, and I'm just adding some butter to the top so they can get browned. And then I'm just going to be throwing those in the oven at 350 for about, I think it was about 8 minutes, probably less. I think I overcooked mine. So once the noodles were done, I strained them, obviously, and then I added it all in the same pot. I used to add the sauce on top, but it just slides everywhere, so I found it better this way. And then I just served it with the salad and the rolls, and here's my daughter's plate again. She eats what we eat, but just not mixed together like how we have it. For the next night, we're going to be having some homemade chicken pot pie, and I'm just taking my chicken breasts and I'm going to be boiling those so that I can easily shred them. And I just add them to a pot of water, and then into the pot of water I add some garlics. I'm adding 4, but as you can see, this one, it's like doesn't even count, and then there's just giant ones, so whatever, 2 giant ones, 4 little ones, I don't know. And then I'm adding about like a quarter, almost a half of an onion, and then I add some chicken bouillon for some more flavor, and I'm just gonna mix that around, and then I'm gonna let that cook for probably an hour and 45 minutes, I think it was an hour 20 minutes. I really don't remember, but just look up how long to cook chicken breast, and that's what I did because I really don't know. So once those were done, I just went ahead and put them in my casserole dish, and I just shredded them all up. So now I'm going to be making like the sauce, I guess you would call it. I really don't know. So I'm adding some flour, and I never measure, but I showed right here because I knew I would forget. So 2/3 cups of flour, but I made the mistake of not letting the oil get hot, and so it was super clumpy. I had to literally use my hand mixer to like mix it all around so the flour wasn't super clumpy. So if I were you, what I would recommend is using butter instead, which I ran out of butter, so that's why I couldn't use it. But use butter and heat it all the way up first, and then you won't have any problems. So then I'm just adding some of the chicken broth, what I cooked, like the water that I cooked the chicken in. I don't remember how much I added in here, but you can see it was a couple cups. I ended up having to add more. So this is really just adding until you guys get the consistency you want. If you don't mess up like me and get all these clumps, then you should be fine. So next, I'm going to be adding a can of cream of mushroom. You can also use cream of chicken, but I like the cream of mushroom better. And you can go ahead and add 2 cans of these. Just depends on how much you're making. But this is what really gives it the chicken pot pie flavor. So you're not going to want to skip this. So even though the chicken broth had the chicken bouillon, I went ahead and added more to this because it just really didn't have that much flavor. And after this, I used my hand mixer and I made it like super so there was no clumps in it. So I didn't show that part, but that's what I did. Once the sauce is done, you're gonna want to get your cans of mixed vegetables, and you're gonna want to I added in 2, but I ended up adding in 3 because I was only gonna make 1 casserole, but I ended up making 2 because I just had so much. And then I did cook some rice on the side, which I filmed, but I guess my clip deleted, I don't know. So I added a little bit of rice into there, and then I added the chicken in, and you're just gonna want to mix all of that until it's well combined and coated. So usually I use my casserole dish, but since I only have one and I wanted to make 2 casseroles, I wanted them both to be able to cook the same and come out the same. And I had these 13x9 cake pans, so I was like, I'll just use those. So I ended up just using these, and you're just gonna want to layer, oh, not layer I guess because there's only 2 layers, but you're just gonna want to lay down your mixture first, you're gonna want to smooth it all out, and then get your biscuits. And I got a pack of 24, 12 in each, I believe. Yes, 24, right? You can also use a pie crust, but these were cheaper, so I'm on a budget. You know, mama's on a budget. So if you're on a budget like me, then get this. Unless you know how to make pie crust, which I don't, so I didn't even want to try, or pastry crust, whatever. So what I do is I get the biscuits, and then I kind of like flatten them. I kind of messed up on these 3, but you'll see later on that I flatten them. So you're just gonna want to flatten them, the sides, and push them down, you know, make them flat. And then you're gonna want to put them all over the top and cover as much as you can, and just do that to both of them. So after you do that, you're just gonna want to cook them about 350. Yeah, at 350 until the tops are just golden brown. And moving on to the next meal, because I guess I don't leave enough time for me to talk. So I'm going to making some carne asada fries. I can't say it like how you're supposed to, but these are super good. You can get these from any Mexican restaurant, I believe. I don't know, we have them everywhere here. So first I'm just making the fries, and what I do is I just chop them all up into fries, and then I add some olive oil, garlic salt, and seasoned salt, and I think I added some pepper, I don't remember. And then I just mix it all together, and then I just throw those into my air fryer. And you want to make sure not to crowd them too much because they won't cook as well. This is good like this, unless you have like a monster air fryer. I don't, so I just went ahead and turned that on at 360 for about 15 minutes, and then every like 5 minutes you just want to open it and you just want to check them. What I do is I open it and then I shake them around like this, but they got stuck to the bottom, so just get like a fork and move them around and then put them back in. While you're cooking 1,000 batches of fries, what seems like, I guess, you want to get your meat, and I got milanesas, and these are just like flat meat. I don't really know how to explain it. If you're Mexican, you obviously know what this is. If not, then it's like a flat cut of meat. I really don't know. So, but they're super good. Anyways, so I just chopped this all up into tiny little cubes. And then just like about this side, you can kind of see I did that to all of the slices that I had, and I cooked all of them because we love to have leftovers. Oh no, actually I left 2 of them. Sorry. I left 2 slices of them, so I did all but 2 slices, and I just add a little bit of oil, and then I'm gonna be cooking those. And look at it, I turned on the back burner, not the one I was cooking on. But then I take this meat seasoning. This is the one I use on all my meat, my tacos and everything, and I just generously season that. Then here's my fries, they're finished. Here's the meat that's finished. So this is really easy and quick meal, and then when you're done with cooking the meat and the fries, all you need to do is assemble it. I'm adding guacamole and bacon to mine, and then here I just have some chopped up onions, some chopped up tomatoes, some cilantro, and some chilies. And I didn't feel good this night, so sorry I didn't film like exactly every single step I was doing, and sorry I didn't chop up things right. But yeah, like I said, I didn't feel good, so So that's everything that I made for this week, and usually we eat 1 or 2 nights at my husband's parents, so that's why you don't see everything. Next time I'll try to show it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.